avoid the rush hour. And so usually area and division contests are on weekends, Saturday or Sunday, but also you may need to find a library that will not charge you for rent because you have a limited budget. And so usually in a public library, university, and as I told you, the best thing is to communicate with the previous area or division director. This is what you need, like human resources, other than the contestants who are competing. You need to find who will be your contest chair. And this contest chair will have the list of contestants. A contest master, when I was the contest chair or when I was organizing, I was also the contest master. So it's okay if you do both, but if you want to organize, you can assign a contest master to do their job. This contest master can, on that day, can be one for both the evaluation and the humorous speech contest, or to make it easy for the contest master, you can assign two contest masters, one for the evaluation and another for the humorous speech. So you may have two contest masters. Don't forget the model speaker if it's an evaluation contest. And I will tell you the criteria of how to choose a model speaker. Two sergeant at arms. One will help you, hand certificates, and the other will be standing at the door when there are contestants. There should be somebody at the door to avoid people going in and out and to escort the contestants in case of evaluation contest. Two people at the registration desk, and don't forget the two sign-up sheets. I usually have on my list 10 judges. In the rule book, they say 5 judges, 1 tiebreaker, and so for me, I don't risk it. You know what? I'm going to do 10 judges. It happened several times. I call and they confirm, and because I contact them like 1 and 2 months ahead of time, they drop out at the last minute. You don't want to have less than 5 on a contest, or else you'll be stuck. 2 timers, 3 ballot counters, 2 to 3 refreshment committee. You don't want to be the contest chair and then at the same time running around carrying water bottles and, food from Sam's Club. You really need to be resting because it could be very exhausting. You need printing committees, the people who will help you or the members who will help you print the flyers, post the flyers, print the agenda. Contest chairs, chief judges, voting judges, tiebreaker judges, timers, counters, test speakers may not compete in the contest at which they are serving. You need to make sure of this. And of course, if you are serving as an officer at the district level, you're not allowed to compete. Invite a model speaker. He or she will give a 5 to 7 minutes. How to choose a model speaker if it's an evaluation contest. It should be from outside the club or area or division, preferably. I see clubs sometimes they invite members from within the club. It's fine if it's not a speech that was given before. So the speech was not heard before. I would not invite a 2-season or 2 beginner speakers, even though some people may say, model speaker, oh my God, this is the best speaker in town. No, you need to not to really invite a 2-season speaker because if he's very good, sometimes the contestants may not find too much areas of improvement to give feedback to. So make it easy for the contestants. You should be anonymous to the contestant and make sure he or she be in good standing. They have paid their membership dues. And don't forget to have a backup model speaker. In fact, sometimes I used to prepare a speech just in case the model speaker does not show up. So make sure of this. Okay, what's the roles of the contest chair? The main duty is to organize the contest. This speech is for the contest chair to validate the contestants' good standing and they have paid their membership dues. Believe it or not, many contestants would give the treasurer their dues, and the treasurer forget to pay their dues, and at the last minute they say, sorry, you cannot compete because you didn't pay your dues at the time of the contest. So the best thing is to check the club roster or call Toastmasters International Headquarters. Send a list not only for the contestants, but you need to add the judges. The judges, I will show you the criteria, they also need to be in good standing. The contest chair also acts as the contest master or appoints a contest master. When I was organizing the contest, I said, you know what, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I'm going to be the contest master. I was a little bit, selfish, because this is your opportunity to be a contest master and to practice. The contest chair now, they do the briefing for the contestants. The contestants and the first runner-up, make sure to also brief the first runner-up. And why is that? In case the contestant doesn't show up, the first runner-up or the second winner will be the one to compete. So make sure to also brief this person. You can do pre-briefing few days, up to 2 weeks before the meeting if you think there will be too much stuff on your plate that day. Before the meeting, on the phone or in person. In the past, the chief judge would brief the contestant. Now, it is the role of the contest chair. Once the contest begins, the contestants cannot compete, even if you make sure you have briefed the second winner or the first runner-up. Make sure that as a contest chair too, check the originality of the speech by going over the speaker's eligibility and originality, item number 1183, and the contestant profile, item number 1189. If you go to the search box in the Toastmasters International or District 18 now, they have it uploaded. And by the end of my speech, I will show you these forms. Discuss the props, if anyone used the props, the speech rules, the venue, the speaking area, arrival time, timing rules, even though you're not the time. What are the timing rules? Where the timers will be sitting, and you need also to be drawing fairly for the order of speakers. Whether you use the pieces of paper with number or straws, there are different ways to do that, so that it's not really by alphabetical order. Announce the winner. If you are the contest chair, you will be responsible for announcing the winner, giving the certificates and trophies, and delegate the contest master, or delegate, of course, the contest master to do this job. And, of course, invite the district leaders to the stage while giving the award. Speech originality. This is the quoted from Toastmasters rule book. Contestants must create their own speeches. 25% or less of the speeches may be devoted to quoting, paraphrasing, or referencing. Of course, if it's more, they will be disqualified. And by the way, the only people who can protest are the judges and the contestants, not the attendees. Before all contests, every contestant must certify in writing to the chief judge. So they will sign these forms, and these forms will go to the hands of the chief judge, that the content of the speech is or will be substantially original. And you need to check this item number 1183 for originality. Okay, judges, as I mentioned before, I usually have 10 on my list. This, you should do it as soon as possible. And you will send frequent reminders and thanking them for volunteering to be judges. And so I told you why 10, because I end up with 5 or 6. And the more the judges, the fairer the contest. And this is the website of the judges training. Do not share the confidential information. Keep with you their email, their phone number, and make sure to remind them. Create a list of these judges. And to my knowledge, the Thai judge, I think the Thai judge, I think I heard that he may be even anonymous to the rest of the judges, but I will need to double check on that. And the Thai judge, so where to find the judges? First of all, get their information from the formal club officer, area, or division director. That's the best thing. Or from the trio. And make sure the judge is from outside your area or division. So if you are the chair of an area contest, make sure the judge is outside your area. If you are division director, it's going to be harder. You need to reach out to a judge outside your division. All right, to be a chief judge at the club contest, you need only to be a paid member. At the area, division, or district contest, you need to be, of course, a paid member in good standing with a minimum of 6 months. And I'm thinking this is new in the rule book. Make sure you're looking at the rule book 2017-2018. They have completed a minimum of 6 speech projects if it is the international speech contest in the competent communication, and if this does not yet apply to our district, but if it is the pathway learning program, they should have received a certificate of completion in levels 1 and 2 of any learning path. Forget about this for now until we start the pathway program. At the level of international contest, I'm going to skip this because we're not there yet. And this is the organizer of the international speech contest. But read it if you want to be a judge at the level of the international speech contest. And this is in page 7 in the rule book. Okay. You check in the Toastmasters International about all this information and their eligibility. You will give to Toastmasters International, or you go online if you have the authority, or I'm not sure what are the limits, or if you can go find the roster and see if these contestants have paid their dues, or contact Elizabeth, our program director. Quality director, ask her, are these contestants in good standing? And give names of judges to make sure they are in good standing and if they are fit and qualified, eligible to judge. There are criteria of contestants I mentioned before about the at least 6 projects. This is only in the international contest. And judges or contestants may tell you they paid their dues, but you still need to verify. This is the phone number of Toastmasters International. Okay, you need to log in to Toastmasters International. When I first started as an area director, this contest, preparing or organizing a contest was a nightmare for me. I was afraid because it is a responsibility. I just went online, I paid the $11 and I bought the whole kit just for a peace of mind. But thankfully, everything is digital. You can download it, and it's on District 18 website. If you have a printer, go ahead and print it. But guess what? This saves a lot of, headaches. And here are the websites of how to get the kit. And why do you do this? By the way, when you print, you need to make sure that the ballot for the evaluation contest is not put in the international speech contest because it's different. The ballot is different. The evaluation contest ballot is different from other, from the humorous speech ballot. So I had made this mistake and I realized it at the last minute when I was printing. So you need to make sure of this. The tiebreaker judge, his ballot is different from the rest of the group, from the rest of the judges, the rest of the voting judges. The tiebreaker judge, his ballot is different, and I will show you at the end how you make sure that you put the correct ballot in the correct folder. Make sure you have this image on your rule book. This is the 2017-2018 rule book. Don't use previous rule book. And this is the website of how to reach the new rule book. Every year they make amendments. And here is the website again. And again, this is the changes. If you click on this website, these changes are also on District 18 website. All right. And again, I really highly recommend $11. So if you have evaluation and humorous contest, it's total of $22. So what? Get it and just put in folder and you're done. Okay, how many contestants can proceed to the higher levels? If area level, division, or district level. Of course, if you are at the club level, everybody's welcome. But of course, they have to be in good standing. At area, division, or district, you need to read this. If it's 4 clubs in the area or fewer, so they are allowed 2 contestants, to send 2 contestants to the higher level. And again, for area contest or division level contest, you need to know how many. If you are in an area directory, you need to know how many clubs in your area. If you are a division director, how many clubs in your division? Should I send 1 contestant? Should I send 2 contestants to the higher level contest? Read this carefully and you will know who to send. And of course, don't forget to send the runner-up in case the contestant or the winner does not show up. Contestants, they will have to fill 2 forms, the speaker's eligibility form, item number 1123, and the profile form, item number 1189. And they will email these forms. I usually send them by email. They send it back to me and they sign it. Make sure you have their phone numbers, addresses, club numbers, member numbers. And at the end of the contest, you will have to send the names of the winners to the next level area or division or district director. You will send them using filling the winner form. Do not forget to add the second runner-up. All right. So here, make sure you have 2 volunteers at the registration desk, 1 or 2 sergeant arms, 2 timers. They like to have 3 ballot counters besides the chief judge. He will be with them to count the ballots, and I will show you the form. Okay, creating an agenda. This, you can use the template from previous directors. So you put at the top the name of the district, contest date and location, the mission statement of your area, your district. Usually we put the district mission or Toastmasters International mission, and write down the chair, the contest chair, and of course you will never write the judges' names because they are anonymous. You add the contestant names arranged by alphabetical order on one side and leave space on the other side because they will be reordered by the contest chair when he makes the draw. If he briefs them beforehand and they know their order, you can add it to the agenda as the final order. Optional, you can add the name of timers or ballots or write a thank you at the end of the agenda or the program. Usually the evaluation contest is first and then followed by the humorous contest. And there is a 10 to 15 minutes break in between. Usually they eat refreshments, but I highly recommend you don't stuff them with food, especially the contestants. You don't want them to be, So anyway, add approximate time to the agenda items and give some time, in the transition. And add the next level contest information. Like if you are an area contest chair, write down when is the division contest information, the date and location. And also add important websites. You can add the district contest and the Toastmasters International Day. Okay, contest budget. Light food, water bottles is very important for the contestants. The speakers need water. Meat. I usually used to buy hummus or crackers. Most important is trash bags. And this is very important for cleaning up because you don't want to lose these locations. When you try to come again in the spring, they will tell you, sorry, you left the area not clean, so you really make sure that you clean up afterwards. Okay, a box of colored folders. I really bought a box. I think maybe it was like, 40 folders or something, because I knew I was going to leave the fall and the spring, and I had it colored. And you take advantage of the back-to-school sales. One folder can be 10 cents. Red, yellow, green folders, keep 3, just in case the timing cards or the lights are not working. So I always have this as a backup to be a timing card. Judges folders, I usually make them dark, not so bright, so that they would, not be flashy. And here, I put a label inside to help myself say, okay, the green ones inside, these are the ballot counters. Once they arrive, I give them their green, and it's written here, yeah, this is for the ballot counters, or this is for the judges, or this is for the tie judge. The tie judge folder is different from the rest of the judges, and I will show you why. So, on one side of the folder, it will be the evaluation contest forms and papers. And on the other side is the second half of the day. It will be the humorous contest. So one side is all the forms and everything related to one contest, evaluation, and on the other side, the humorous contest. Make sure you have lots of pens. You don't want the judges to come and they are like, I don't have a pen, and the contest has started. So please provide pens in the folder for everyone, for the timers, ballot counters, judges, everyone who will volunteer in the contest. And this is very important for you to know which folder should be given to who. Tiebreaker, okay, this is for you. So you need some sticky notes. This one, I will not go over it. You're welcome to go over it on your own. It's a checklist. In this presentation, I made some modifications on what's needed, like you need to make a program or agenda, what do you need to buy, food, registration tables, timing folders, all this stuff. Delegate. You really need to delegate. Don't do everything on your own. You need to also reach out for the district leaders. And for Toastmasters International, they are so helpful if there is something you're not sure of. And I want to share with you that the importance of reaching out to Toastmasters International, one of the contestants who won at the area level, and she was going to the division level, I sent all the winners' names to Toastmasters International. And I said, are they in this pending? And they say, this person X, she's the area director in another district in D.C. And she cannot compete. She's a district leader. So I contacted her. I said, how come you're competing in District 18 while you are area director in another you're not eligible to compete. And the truth was, she initially was thinking to be area director. She was put up in that district as area director. Then she told them, I'm not going to do the job. You know, I have too much on my plate. So they did not drop her name as an area contestant. And so I had to do this job, else it will be very bad because she may miss opportunities to others. So that's how important you need, you know, to ask and make sure that they are eligible. And don't forget the trophies. Once I get the trophies from the trio, I put it in my trunk and they never go up my home. Because if you forget the trophies, it's not going to be fun on the contest day. Scripts. Of course, the contestant briefing scripts, there are scripts for that. And hopefully we'll put it on this week 18. Toastmasters script, this is the biggest one. Toastmasters does a big job on the script. But once you do this job once or two times, it will be very easy. Chief Judge script is the easiest script, maybe a small paragraph. Timer script is easy on the timing record sheet. It's easy. This is the one that you really need to know how to, you know, manage a contest and how the flow of the contest will be. The briefing also is very easy. So number 2 is the one, and don't worry about it. All will be downloaded from District 18 website, and I think I have few tricks I can share. Announcement of winners. After the conclusion of the contestant interviews, the contest chair will announce if there were any disqualifications, but no details on who was disqualified. He or she will announce the winners in reverse order: third place, second place, first place. And in contests with 5 or more participants, it's third place, second, and first. But if 4 or fewer, you don't announce the third. You only announce the second and the first place winners. Occasionally, a contest will be held only for one contestant. You go ahead and do it official if you, and even, you know, another story, I was the only one competing in Hopkins Club. I was not a district leader. I was only a contestant. And we brought judges from outside. And I was the only person who will represent Hopkins Club. I was above my timing by 15 seconds. The club was not able to send anyone. I was disqualified. So some clubs prepare voting system. The clubs just vote so that they don't lose the opportunity, but that's how things went at that time. Okay, notification of winners, item number 1182. This is different from the results form. The results form is during the contest. The judge will write down the first, second, third. But the notification of winners, this is when you go home, the contest is over, and you as a contest chair need to communicate with the director above you. So if you are area director, you type in, it's a fillable form, you type in the notification of winner and email details of the winner to the director for division director above you. And don't forget also to write down the runner-up, because in case they drop out at the last minute. Reimbursement voucher, this is of course important to all of us. And this is the email to the finance manager or the TAU, and CC the TAU so that you write down how much you spent on the contest. And good luck. And, you know, if anyone has any question, you're welcome. I just want to share with you, for instance, this is the speaker certification, eligibility, and originality form. You need to read it. And this should be sent to all the contestants, the speakers. this is the judge's certification and eligibility, and who can really be a chief judge. All the eligibility is here. This is the certificate of participation for the speech contest. All this will be in the kit. If you just buy it, you don't have to worry about. This is the judge's guide and ballot. The judges should know how to fill this form. Contestants' names here, and this is how the criteria for judging the items. They need to fill the first, second, and third place. This area is for the ballot counter, not for them to worry about. And this is the notification of contest winners. You will do it when you go home on that day. This is the tally sheet. And the tally sheet, your name of contestants, very important, by the way. As a contest chair, if you find a volunteer who will be a counter, you really need to show them how to use this form. Many times the counters in some contests, they come, they show up, and then, oh, please show me, how can I fill this form? Okay, you need to show them ahead of time. The points they will use is 3, 2, and 1, and not more, and they will add the total. They will be the one who will sort the judges' ballots, of course, with the help of the chief judge. So you really need to make them understand how to use these forms. And this is the profile. Some of the questions interest hobbies of the contestants. What inspired you most? What is your favorite quote? This is very important, by the way, for the contest master, because by the time the ballots are counted, that's what will happen. The contest master will invite the contestants to come up and talk to them and ask them about. So this will be very important to fill in time until the ballots are counted. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to, I just wanted to show you the tie-breaking judge, because this is the tie-breaker judge. Here it will not be written judges, the ballot. It's different from the rest. I'm trying to find it here. So the tiebreaker judge, he will not only fill first, second, and third, he will fill 10. He will order 10. Who's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. You need to make sure that the tiebreaker judge does not get this form. And also, is it international? Is it evaluation? Is it humorous speech? For humorous speech contest, there is other criteria than the international speech contest. And by that, I thank you very much, and I welcome any feedback. And please don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions. I welcome. Also, if there is any, mistake or rule that I said wrong, I really care to modify my speech and make it better, because we don't want to relay any wrong information. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mona.
Thank you, Mona.
Yes.
Mona, this is Teresa Hetzel. You mentioned about the tie-breaking judges. It is that the tie-breaking judges must be anonymous to the judges. Only person who knows the tie-breaking judge, who has the tie-breaking judge form or their name, will be the chief judge.
Okay. I thank you very much for confirming this. I appreciate it very much, Teresa.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. This is Dana Johnson-Walden. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Mona, great speech. Thank you so much. Just I had a question. I was reading through, so if we have an evaluation contest, we have to get a speaker outside of our chapter, or can we use someone within the chapter but be anonymous? We just got chartered. So
okay.
I was reading through your notes.
What do you mean by chapter? Forgive me.
Our members. We're at the Army. Yeah, the club.
Okay, so can you say the question again? For evaluation, for the evaluation contest, you first invite a model speaker. All the contestants will be in the room. The model speaker will give a 5 to 7 minute speech. Once she's done, she or he is done, the contestants, of course, you have already had, drew who is first, second, third. The first contestant will stay in the room. The rest will be escorted out of the room. And the first contestant will give his evaluation. If it's let's say an area contest, the most important for the model speaker that this is a speech they are giving that was not heard by the contestants, and also she or he, the model speaker, should be anonymous, because if the contestants have heard this person talk before, they know she's coming as a model speaker, they will probably know her weaknesses or his weaknesses and areas of improvement. And, some contestants in evaluation contests, they prepare how to and modify at the time of the contest how to give their evaluation. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, and that was part of it. But the model speaker, should that be, I'm reading, I don't have a page number on the printout, but should the model speaker be outside the club, or can it be within the club and be anonymous?
For us, for instance, in Hopkins Club, we invited the new, the new members. So these new members, they have not given maybe one speech. And, of course, they have to be anonymous. But the most important, they have to be in good standing. The model speaker doesn't have to be a person who has done 6 speeches. This is only for international speech conditions. But, it's not at the club level. The most important to make sure he or she to be anonymous. It's a new speech, not a modified speech. Completely new speech. They have not heard it before.
Okay. Mona,
yeah.
This is Teresa Hetzel. The question was asked whether the model speaker can be within the club, and the model speaker can be within the club as long as that person is anonymous.
Yep.
It can be outside the club as long as they are anonymous. And the speeches that they give, it can be a speech that has been given to the club at one point in time, but if they make it to the area, that particular speech can be used because other people haven't heard it at a particular date. It's sort of hard to scrutinize that. So in other words, yes, the model speaker can be in the club as long as you stated, they are anonymous. The most important thing also is that the model speaker is not a contestant. If they go past 7 minutes and 30 seconds, let them speak until they finish, because they're supposed to be on the guideline of 5 to 7 minute speeches, but they're not being evaluated, and they're not going to be disqualified because they go 8 minutes.
Yes. But if this club model speaker served later at the area level, make sure that none of her clubs have heard her before. This is very important, because try to invite a model speaker who is new to all contestants, to be on the safe side, or else you'll find protests.
Yeah, the key is that make sure that you have judges that are not in that club.
Right.
For that particular
I'm speaking basically at a club level. And I have one more question. I apologize if I'm holding everybody up. I don't have a page number, but it's roles of the contest chair, because I'm the VPE, so I'm sorry about all the questions. On the 4th bullet point, you talk about can do the briefing, the contestants will be first runner-up, and so on. And then the 5th bullet point, it says once contest begins, the contestant cannot compete if pre-briefed. So I was kind of confused on that.
Which slide is this? So
it's roles of the contest chair, and it's bullet points 4 and 5.
Okay, once the contest begins, let's say the contestant was late. He cannot compete if the contest have started, because once the gavel went down, the first runner-up will be the one to compete, not the original person, because he came late, even if he was pre-briefed. Because you see what I mean? That's what I understood, like from probably when I read the rule book. Whatever you feel you need to, your suspicion of, it's very easy. Just call the Toastmasters International or talk to the chief judge, who should be knowledgeable, and ask him about this. And by the way, as a contest chair, this is not your job. This is the job of the chief judge.
Okay, because it said roles of contest chair, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, probably also you will talk about it with the chief judge.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually the chief judge should have a rule book with him in the contest day. For me, I used to print, like if I have 1 chief judges and 9 voting judges, I bring like 10 judges and put it in each judge's folder to make sure that we are safe. If you are not sure about this, we can double check it, but that's what I understood. Once the contest began, already the contestants' name are the ones to compete. If the winner showed up, the runner-up will take over if he or she were briefed.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of confused with that. So once contest begins. Okay.
Begins, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Mona, this is Elizabeth.
Good question, yes.
Just some comments, just to distinguish some of the points you made that pertain to just area, division, and district, and not the clubs. First is the trophies. District only provides trophies from the area level and up. If clubs want to give their own trinkets and trophies, they are happy to do so. Also, the reimbursement is only for area, division, contests, not the clubs. And the scripts will be posted on the District 18 website. I sent them to the webmaster earlier today. He will post those along with the scripts for the contestant briefing. So there'll be plenty of scripts there for you to pull and use, and we'll also put out there a contest agenda template for everyone to use and modify as they choose.
Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. Any other questions?
I think you mentioned, this is Teresa, Mona, that if the original contestant showed up late, that the person who's around in second place could speak in their behalf. What happens is that once the contest master once that contestant has been briefed and they are out in the audience there, prepared, well, the evaluation be somewhat different, and the contest master has started the contest, that person who was the original person does not get the opportunity to go in and sit in the place where the person who've already selected the second place winner from his club or her club. In other words, if it was me and I came in late and you were the second runner up, and they have already been briefed by the by the contest master, and they're sitting in there, no, they cannot come in. The original person, that person is runner up, will do the contest. The contest
so
is started.
You know that for a fact.
Fact.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Teresa.
Great. Well, it's 8:31. I want to be conscious of everyone's time on the phone. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Mona or myself. We've got plenty of information on our District 18 website, which is brand new. Please go out and check it out, Toastmasters-D18.org. If you have not done so already, there's a tab underneath resources that speech contests, and there is plenty of information there, the rule books, all the forms that Mona showed you. There are hyperlinks to get back to Toastmasters.org to see those and download those. And again, I thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Mona, for sharing all that content. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at either an area contest or a division contest or at the district conference, which is November 3rd and 4th. Mm-hmm. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mona. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'll call you later.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Bye.
Great job, Mona. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.